So tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. What has been some of the challenges that you've experienced, you've learned from, overcame, maybe you're perhaps working through still, that you'd like
Yes.
to share with us?
I'll probably say my I mean, of course, I've had many challenges, but my biggest challenge is marketing. Marketing is just, it's very difficult to find the right team um, at an affordable cost or reasonable cost to handle marketing. Um, it's something that, I'm too busy to do on my own, but I'm scared to give it to someone who, you know, won't get it done, right? I think that's probably one of my biggest challenges, is just how to market the right way, with things always changing, staying on top of algorithms changing on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and to, what's the best way? Is it videos? Is it memes? Is it like it's just beyond me.
Yeah.
I would also say, a challenge that I think a lot of people may be able to relate to is getting to that point where your business is like your baby, it's your child. You don't want to just give anyone your child to handle or to babysit. So kind of letting go to kind of let someone else help or take the reins, I find is a little bit of a challenge for me as well.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm still working through, and I'm with time and patience, I'm learning to kind of let go a little bit and trust people to take care of my baby. That's probably the two biggest challenges I'm facing right now.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing. And
Mhm.
if I could impart some experience of my own with you, is that sometimes we may not be able to, or dealing with the emotions
Yeah,
of giving up our baby. Someone told me stop saying it's your baby, because with your organization, as it grows and flourish, you may need to do some chopping, right?
for
And so
sure.
so you don't want to be chopping up no baby. So maybe the way that you're thinking about it, so the mindset around this thing, that yes, you have birth. So you mentioned, as you incorporate, you now have this entity, but understand that this entity is ultimately being built for you and your legacy, right? And
For
so
sure.
I invite people to leverage. And when I talk about leveraging, it's really finding the right teammates. And so I would say you would have to go through, okay, this person works for me, this person doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Go through that motion until you find that person or right team or company that they share your vision, making sure that
Yes.
there's that alignment with the
Yes.
values as a whole. But remember, you're one person, there's 24 hours in a day. I invite you to leverage,
For
delegate,
sure. For
engage,
sure.
and build. And it is the only way to grow and move forward. Even if you're
Yes.
outsourcing to, Jamaica, India, wherever you're outsourcing to, you be using platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, all of these
Yes.
things. But that start small, and that's what I always invite people to. Before you go and hire someone and bring them up in a full-time way, you say to this team, I'm going to give you a project. I need 10 posts. Let me see what those look like. How are the hashtags on that? Walk me through your process, because what I'm doing is evaluating if we could have a long-term relationship, and being upfront as well, right?
For
I'm not
sure.
asking for your secret sauce by no means, but as a non-marketing person, I need to be empowered to be able to
Yes.
give you the right direction according to my vision moving forward. So
Yes.
I invite you to leverage.
For sure. I mean, it's something that, it's coming whether I like it or not. I'm working through it.
Yes.
I'm working through my emotions.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. And thank you for sharing. So tell us, what has been, one of the greatest accomplishments or something that you're really proud of to date?
To date, I would say the fact that, we have grown quite a bit, not just with clientele, but just with, we started off as more of a virtual company, and we actually now have an office space. So I'm actually very, very, very proud of that. And the goal is to obtain a few more offices so that we can try to get someone or other people in here. But yeah, I think at least for 2020, I guess, one of our biggest accomplishments would be to now have a fully functioning office up and running, everything set up.
Hey, that is awesome. That is awesome, and
Mhm.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is super excited. So I'm curious, if you're engaging with entrepreneurs, you're engaging with people that aren't entrepreneurs yet. I invite people to this journey always.
Yes.
What is a tip or advice you have for them?
Just know that I try to be realistic when I give advice about the entrepreneurship journey, and lifestyle. It is, I guess, my biggest piece of advice is it's going to take huge sacrifice, right? Things that you may be accustomed to doing that may not fit into your plan of being a entrepreneur have to get cut. I'll give an example. For me, before I had started this journey, I was heavily, heavily, heavily into video games. Any free time I had, that's what it went to. As soon as I started this business, I had to really hang up the reins, and I've pretty much gone cold turkey for the last 3-4 years of not playing, just so that all my extra time went into building the business and working later hours in the beginning so that I can have, business hours now. And you know what I mean? Just to be able to work for that balance. In the beginning, it's going to take everything. So you just have to make sure that you're prepared to make the necessary sacrifices to change your mindset and your work habits to ensure your success.
Hey, that is so powerful and so true. Ultimately, it's growing, right?
Yes.
Someone once shared on the show, personal being an entrepreneur is the biggest personal development journey that you will be entering into. And so being committed to that bigger vision, it's like, I do want to establish a company, I do want to grow and flourish, and really then understanding the sacrifices. And we know, some people, time with the kids or the loved one, or the gaming, but really I invite people always, even when you know that you have to give your all, understanding that your priorities still need to be set and in order, right? So if your loved one is there, don't sacrifice your success for that, right? Because at the end of the road, no dollar bills are going to be around your deathbed, right? It's the people that you've invested in, you've shown love to and grown with. So that is so powerful.
I do actually also want to add, with the growing and some of the sacrifices that would have to be made. One thing I would always want to leave with people is to understand that when it gets hard, please push through it. Please push through it, because it will always be worth it. There's always going to be times where you feel like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, but just keep going, because that barrier is what will help you grow more as a person, more as a business, and when it comes to adversity, to help push your business forward always, always, always. If I had stopped,